every team needs one person that handles the imports and all the legal shit that you need to stay there legally. And then
Yeah.
every team needs a female. Yeah, it's going to be controversial, but a female who is in charge of the apartments, because a woman knows exactly what a couple needs to feel at home. Towels, dishes, like soap. Like that's what every team needs. So if
Yeah.
team needs to hire me, I am free.
No, yeah, yeah, I am now taking up exceptions for applications. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. Like this is actually the first team where we're like, oh my gosh, like they're helping us so much. Like they're doing so much for us. Like we've never had that before. Like there's been fine communication, but it's always like a struggle. Or like the person who's doing it literally doesn't speak any English, and it's like it's just it's annoying. Like it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to get things figured out. I feel like everyone always runs into these like visa problems, like because obviously like they're like, okay, your husband's the priority, he needs the visa immediately or the health insurance immediately. But it's like
Yeah.
then it's usually like the wife or the kids that's like, hello, like we need to get this situated. Like we're like we're
Yes.
leaving, he's leaving.
You're listening to Breaking the Ice podcast, a podcast I created for wives and girlfriends of pro hockey players. My name's Devin Dodaro. I'm the wife of Charlie Dodaro. We have 2 dogs, a little boy Crosby, and a baby girl on the way. We spent 8 months of the year living the hockey life in Europe, but we've also spent about 5 seasons in North America. I've been around the block, sometimes just for a cup of coffee, but I wanted to share the tools, resources, and what's helped me along the way, while also learning every week from each and every one of you. In this podcast, we share tips, tricks, do's, and don'ts for all things women, all things hockey, friendships, trades, long distance, moves, and life in general, so you don't feel so alone. So put your headphones in, go for a walk, and feel like you're sitting down with your best girlfriends. Oh, and make sure to follow the page on Instagram, Breaking the Ice Pod. Let's lace them up and tune in for a new episode every Wednesday. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Happy Wednesday, whatever day you're listening to this episode on. Charlie is currently on the road. We are set to go on a trip for the February break tomorrow, but Skylar's passport never came. Charlie gets back tomorrow morning, super early. Then we're supposed to take off to Paris to fly out of Paris. So I am sitting here. That would be my child going down for a nap while I'm breastfeeding. So work with me with what I got. These intros are kind of, as of right now, in this stage of life that I'm in right now, is just when I'm able to record them. I do like doing the intros, but sometimes I just have to kind of work with my situation and with what I have going on right now, because if we are on vacation next week, I will not be able to record it when I am alone there because we will be out running around. Anyhow, this week I just really wanted to have like a fun, lighthearted episode, and I knew my girl Layne would be the perfect person for this. You may be familiar with Layne because we actually recorded an episode 2 years ago all about friendships. It's an episode called A Reason, a Season, or a Lifetime. I will link it in the show notes for this episode if you want to go back and listen. It was just a really solid, good conversation about the friends in our lives and just exactly what the episode title is called. So in this episode, we just catch up. She gives us some life updates. Layne is also the pop culture queen. She is my go-to for any pop culture questions or information I want to know. If you follow her Instagram account, she's always cracking me up, just sharing things about what's going on in celebrity land. So she updates me on some new 411 tea from pop culture world, and then we also played a little game where we each came up with like 5 questions for each other about different shows and pop culture things, and we answered those questions. So it was just a really fun, funny, lighthearted conversation for you in the middle of your week to tune into and listen to. So enjoy the episode, go for a walk. And I also should warn you, I've been having issues with my microphone, so I only recorded that episode with my AirPods, and my sound quality sounds a little bit distant, but it's still just like, you can't miss this combo. It's just too good. Enjoy.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Oh, yes, it worked. Okay. It was my AirPods.
Okay.
It wasn't connected. Hello.
Hi. Aren't you so blonde
Hi.
and beautiful?
Oh, thank you. Actually, not the best highlight job. Like overall, the color looks good, but like look at how stringy. You can't really tell in this light, but it's like really stringy ass, like blonde
I mean,
highlights.
it's a
Like you
little
did it like
2004, but
yeah, like it's 2004, like 5,000. I was like, okay, like this will be good. Like probably won't come back to you, but like thanks.
wait, did you get that done there?
Yeah, like I found the guy on Instagram, but he spoke like no English. So it's kind of a shot in the dark,
Oh
but
my
like
God.
overall I'm happy. Like when my hair is like flipped, which it normally is, like it looks fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm like trying to like pull my hair back in like a low bun, it's just
Yeah, you
not.
can like see them way more. I
Yeah.
need to get my hair done so bad. I like asked a local girl here. She has blonde hair. She told me the place, but I just haven't gone yet, of course.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, cheers. Coffee cheers.
Yay! Cheersies.
You know what's so funny?
What?
Like, first of all, we're just gonna like dive in, obviously. And like I don't even
Yeah.
feel like I forgot we're even recording because we're just like we literally just get on the call and start talking like we've been best friends for like 25 years.
It's so easy.
Like I feel it's like when I record with people, I usually like I don't feel nervous, but sometimes it's like can feel like when you don't know someone and you're like meeting them face to face, like there's more pressure to just be like, uh-huh. But it's like we get on, we're like, what's up, mother effer? How are you?
I know.
Because we talk all the time.
It's the best. But no, that's
Yeah.
when it's like a good episode too, because it's comfortable and it's flowing. It's not like
Yes.
staged, you know?
Yes.
So I think that's good.
I agree. So if you're tuning in today, we did a episode like, gosh, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we recorded it and we had like a horrible like audio connection. Like one of our Wi-Fi's was not doing it. I think it was yours.
Yeah.
And when I listened to it back, I don't even know, it could have been my mic too. So then we had to redo it, but the redo was like way better than the first one. So it was actually like great. Not that the first one was bad. It was just like it wound up being an amazing episode the second time.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I think we talked a lot before that anyways. And then we just like started our virtual best friendship. And the rest is history.
Wait, do we need merch, virtual besties?
I think so. I
Because
really
it's
think
so
so.
true.
I actually love that. I love like being
Take
friends with
it.
people virtually. And I think you get to a point where you can like actually call someone like a friend. It's like
Yeah.
we voice note each other back and forth. We
I know.
like talk a lot. We text a lot. Like it's a thing.
It's so weird because Kyle will be like, oh, like I'll be like, oh, I'm talking to Deb. He's like, oh, how is she? I'm like, it's so weird that like we've never even met in person, but I'm like, yeah, like she's busy. Like I know like
Yeah.
what we're up to and stuff. It's just so funny.
Kyle's like, what's the 411? Your
Yeah,
Bravo
he's like, what's
bestie.
going on? Yes, my Bravo bestie, Kyle.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, well, like before we like get into all the like funny stuff that we have planned for this episode. By the way, I think you were trying to log into the Zoom and I was like putting a story up really fast that I was talking to the pop culture queen herself, which is you. And then
I was like, who?
You. And then I put a question box up. So let's see if we get any questions. And I know it's like Europe, so I don't know how many people are gonna like see this in time. So yeah, catch everyone up and then we'll just like fly by the seat of our pants.
Let's see here. A lot has changed in 2 years since I've talked to you. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. We're currently playing in Val Gardena in the Alps Hockey League. We got here a little later because I was ultra pregnant and I wanted to do a lot of my appointments back home because we had problems in the past. A lot of people who followed me, which is crazy because a lot of people I've met and who have been so helpful have been like hockey wives and girlfriends. So for that's good English. Those who followed me with losing our daughter, Athena, they were so helpful with me with asking questions and stuff about giving birth in Italy and all that stuff. But anyways, so yes, we gave birth to a baby girl in November. Her name is Collins. She's the best. She is chunky and adorable. Yeah. So like life is good right now, honestly, besides my hair. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm so happy for you guys, obviously. But like with everything, when you guys were coming to Italy, you were having like major problems, like trying to get a visa, trying to get situated, super stressful, like leading up to you being super pregnant, you having to give birth and like not knowing like what was happening. You didn't have a contract. Like we were kind of like in the same like situation
Yes.
almost. But you wound up getting your visa, right?
Yeah. Star-crossed lovers. That's us. It
Yeah.
was like super similar. But yeah, same thing. We've only played in Germany abroad for like 6 years. And then when the opportunity to go to Italy came up, we're like, yeah, sure. And then our new agent was like, well, you need a visa before you go. And we're like, all right, cool. But we had no idea how to go about that. We've never had to do that before. And then to get in touch with an Italian consulate nearby is absolute mayhem. There's no direct number, there's no email. It is asinine. And so eventually I'm like, I cried every day because I am just like emailing all these random people and they're telling me like, good luck, you can't get an in-person interview before the time you're supposed to leave in like 2 weeks. So a lot of tears were shed, but we finally, the closest one was in Detroit, which was like 2 hours from us or something. So we drove to Detroit. He got his visa. They got me on like a traveler's visa until they were able to get my residence permit. So everything worked out fine. But funny enough, and like same thing, I was told like, oh yeah, Italy, like universal healthcare, everything's covered. But apparently in Italy, you're not covered until you're there for 3 months, which I think I've told you before.
Okay.
So
I think it's the same here, actually.
yes. And so we were going to my doctor's appointments knowing I didn't have insurance yet. We told everyone, they're like, okay, you'll just be billed. I'm like, amazing.
Yeah.
And then we finally like we went to the same office like every week trying to figure things out. The lady eventually was like, that's not possible. You can't get it for, 2 more months. And then I was like, lady, like my due date is like in a week. And she's like, do you have proof? I was like, oh, do I have proof? I gave her
Let
my
me
whole
lift my shirt. Let me lift my shirt up so you can see, woman.
I know. My belly was so low. I'm like, oh my God. I gave her my mother pass. And she's like, okay, for this reason, we'll do like an exception for like a month. So the birth is covered. I'm like, thank you. So anyways, everything was written off and my entire experience was covered. So thank God. But that was like very strict. My husband every day was like, oh my God, imagine the bill. We came to Europe to not pay medical bills. And now we have to, it was so stressful.
I know. I think about that all the time. Like even just having a C-section, like I think about my insurance back home, like what the C-section like out of pocket costs. It's like $9,000. I'm like, well, dodge that bullet.
Yeah. What was your experience like with that, with like insurance and everything? Everything worked out okay?
The team honestly did everything, which I think it's like totally insane when they don't do it because it's like,
yes,
we are literally like coming here for this team. So like you should do it. Like I think it's very strange. Like I've heard of that. Like even Charlie's brother plays in the, I was going to say Evil, but the ice hockey league, he plays in Ljubljana. And they like made him do all of it. And he's like never played in Europe before. So he literally had no idea like what he was doing and had to like scramble all over the place to like get it situated before he got over here. But I'm like, why don't they just do it? Like probably because it's expensive for them, right? Like I don't know if you had to pay for it and they covered it, but you just had to do the work. But it's like, it's just the kind of stress you don't need going into like having a baby. Like it should
every
just be
team. Yeah. Every team needs one person that handles the imports and all the legal shit that you need to stay there legally. And then every team needs a female. Yeah, it's going to be controversial, but a female who is in charge of the apartments, because a woman knows exactly what a couple needs to feel at home. Towels, dishes, like soap. Like that's what every team needs. So if team needs to hire me, I'm free.
No, yeah, I am now taking exceptions for applications. No, I agree. Like this is actually the first team where we're like, oh my gosh, like they're helping us so much. Like they're doing so much for us. Like we've never had that before. Like there's been fine communication, but it's always like a struggle, or like the person who's doing it literally doesn't speak any English, and it's like it's just it's annoying. Like, it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to get things figured out. I feel like everyone always runs into these like visa problems, like, because obviously like they're like, okay, your husband's the priority, he needs the visa immediately or the health insurance immediately, but it's like then it's usually like the wife or the kids that's like, hello, like we need to get this situated, like we're you know, like we're leaving, he's leaving. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, but I agree with you. I think there's like so much. Side note, like how annoying is it when you fly across the world and then you get to your apartment complex and there's like no food, no toilet paper, no paper towels. You're like, just leave me like one roll of paper towels, please.
Yes. Like just a clean thing of sheets. That's all we
or
have,
like
you know.
a carton of eggs. Like just leave us some eggs, because the last thing I want to do is go figure out a brand new grocery store after traveling for 40 hours.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Yes. The one, I thought this was like so nice. It's never happened to us before. And I know it's because of the circumstance, but like the COVID year when like we flew over to Germany and we knew we had to quarantine for like 5 days until our test came back negative. But we were like, what do we do about food? And they're like, oh, don't worry, we'll drop off food every day. I'm like, this is so nice. When we got to our flat, they stocked the kitchen with like all this random shit. And I was like, oh, it was so nice.
That's so nice. That is definitely not the norm. Because when we had to quarantine in Graz, they were literally like, bye, good luck.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, how do we get food? Like the entire team is quarantined. Like we can't send anyone. I think there was like one girl that her and her husband never got it. But he was like on crutches and she didn't have a driver's license. So they're just like crutching to the store to like get people like food and stuff.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, this is like, this is not real. I remember I had a dog sitter that I just paid. I just was like, please, can I pay you to go to the store? I will send you a list. Like, we do not have food and we were trapped in this apartment for 10 days. Like,
how do you find dog sitters and babies?
Here, there's Rover. Like,
they have that there too?
They have it here. They did not have it in Austria. In Austria, there's something called tiersitter.24.at, like really random link, but that's how we found our dog sitters. We found one dog sitter in our building last year, but she watched them one. She was fine. She was fine.
Okay.
I don't know if I
okay.
I mean,
awful,
if you really want to know, she was like 18 or something, maybe. Like super young, super sweet. She was English, like she was fine. But like she watched our dogs like overnight one time, and like, you know, when you leave for a trip and you just like you deep clean your apartment, like you want to come back to like a clean space. Like there's nothing worse to me than like going on out of town and coming back and like your apartment's just like trashed. So like I made it like really clean for her and stuff. She wasn't even sleeping there, like because she lived in our building. I was like, just bring the dogs up to your apartment and sleep there. But she was like, is it okay if I take them like, you know, to like run on trails or hike or whatever, like to hike? I'm like, oh yeah, totally, like take them, that would be great. But then like I came back and like my apartment was just like covered in mud. Like she gave him a bath in our tub, like didn't clean the tub, and I was just like, all right, yeah, that's it for you.
Why would she give him a bath?
Because they were muddy, I guess. And then like there was another time, not to go on a total side tangent about this girl, I highly doubt she listens to my podcast. She's like 18. No, it's actually kind of funny. Like I'm sure people would laugh listening, but like she told me she babysat. So I was like, okay, great. Like left Crosby with her. And she was like, okay, like how do I change a diaper? And I was like, oh girl, like this is not giving me the confidence I need before I leave this apartment. So I like showed her, because I like, you know how it is, like you're with your kid 24/7 in this hockey life. So like leaving them with someone, now I leave him and I'm fine. But like I was with him for like so long by myself that it was just like felt unnatural to me to like ask a babysitter to come over, because I'm like, I don't know. But so I showed her and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I had to go get like my boob scanned because I found like a little like cyst thing. So I was like going to like a stressful appointment, and then she like texted me while we were there, and she was like, no, she called me. So I was like, is something wrong?
Even
like
worse.
What babysitter like calls? I'm like, did he like fall off the build? Like why is someone calling me right now when she's babysitting? Like, don't contact me if you're babysitting. Like
ever.
I don't want to hear anything unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
And then I didn't answer. So I'm like calling her back. And then she was like, yeah, so we kind of had like a poop situation. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, is everything okay? She was like, yeah, like, no, he just pooped. And I was like, okay, well, can you
Oh my
change it?
God.
Like, I'm at an appointment right now. I can't really talk. And she's like, yeah, okay, I'll figure it out. Like, bye. And like, then that was kind of like my, all right, I think I need to like have someone a little bit older, like watch my kid and watch my dog.
That gives me highs. But also, if I was ever in that situation, like just YouTube it. Like you could find every answer on YouTube,
How do I change
If
a
it's something
diaper? I
so
don't.
small, yeah, like come on. And you say you're a baby, like just YouTube it, man,
I know. Yeah, that was just, yeah. Anyway, so basically, like, it was fine for what it was. But yeah, there's also an app called Baby Sits here in France that you can use.
Mm,
Otherwise, like just asking like other girls that have played, like sometimes they'll do
yeah,
that, or like, I don't know. I like
yeah,
referrals too, because then it's kind of
yeah.
like, or maybe someone like a super fan of the team or something. Like, I don't
Yes,
know.
I would trust someone that's connected to the team or hockey in some way. Because,
Yeah,
like you said, like I'm with her all day. So the idea of leaving her with like a stranger gives me absolute hives. Like, not on
I
my
know.
watch.
I I know,
I
especially
know
when
it's
you're
gonna have to
breastfeeding though,
happen.
it's like hard to, because like
Yeah.
not only do you, I mean, I think it's fine if it's like for an hour. Like I definitely needed that when Crosby was
Yeah.
like really little. It's like I have to go. Um,
Yeah.
we've made it work now just with us pretty much, but like yeah, it's like then your boobs get full and you have to like release them anyway. So you're like, how long am I realistically gonna leave for? Because I have to like drain these things. I can't be like
Exactly.
gone
Yes.
on like on a heyday. It's like I gotta feed my kid or I'm gonna be exploding.
Drain these things.
That's true.
Yeah.
And nothing gets the job quicker than a baby. I feel like a pump just, I don't know.
No, I mean, not that it matters, but I fucking hate, I'm sorry. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
I'll try not to. I hate
No,
my
it's
pump. I'm
funny.
so over it. I'm like, oh my God, just forget it. I'll just do Collins. But also like Collie's like not really a fan of the bottle. So I'm just like, oh, forget it. Like I'll just come
Yeah.
here, and I have to
Yeah.
do a better job. I have weddings coming up. Like I can't just be like,
Yeah.
oh, here's my baby dancing on the like feeding. Like that's not gonna fly. So I
Yeah.
have to figure it out. But I'm very, as you know, a person who doesn't plan well. So I have to do a better job of that as a mother.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you want to be able to like it's like you're thinking now, you're like, I want to do this now. Like she's little, I want to breastfeed, I like it. Like it's like a
Hmm.
connection. But sometimes you have to think like 9 months down the road and be like, okay, like I have
Yes.
a wedding and like, am I gonna want to feel like I can't go or I can't? Because that's what happened to us with Crosby. Like we
Yes.
stopped. He literally like got to a point where he would not take a bottle anymore. And I could not
Really?
leave Layne for like a year. Like I could not leave because then Charlie would be like, he's hungry. And like once he started solids, it was like you could hold him over for a little bit longer. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. So like I try. It's hard though. The same thing. I definitely don't give Skylar a bottle every day, but like every now
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, wait, you should give her a bottle. Like let me pump, and then she'll take
And she
it. But
takes
just
it okay?
she takes it fine. What bottles do you have?
I don't know, Devin. They're like some kind of brand. I don't
There's
know.
like
I have
the
to get back
Como
to
Tomo
you.
bottles are good because they're like kind of like a boob,
Wait,
like almost.
I've seen those.
Yeah, like it's I don't know.
It's like a nuke. Wait, is that how you pronounce it? Isn't that a
Nuke.
bomb?
I mean that's how I said it, but
NUK?
I've actually never thought about it like that. That's funny. A nook?
Regardless,
No, I think it's a
she
nook.
oh,
A nook?
regardless, like she like I think she likes the nipple because she'll like grab it and like chew on it, but then she just I don't know if it's when my husband holds her. I don't know. I'm just like, this is a disaster. Forget it.
I know. Guys get like frustrated. At least Charlie gets frustrated during bottle. He's like, I don't know if she's done. I don't know if she's taking. Am I holding her right? I'm like, dude, just it's fine. Just keep
Yes.
moving her till it works. She'll take it. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
so
I would just
true.
give the bottle to Kyle and go do something and see if she'll take.
Yeah.
I bet she will. Sometimes it's hard. Like when she knows that like you have the milk, sometimes they
Yes.
won't take it. It's like no, no, no. I want like the good.
Yeah. That's my fear. She and I are so connected that I know she's like, this is a joke. Absolutely not. Where is she? Like, she'll slap me. Like, she'll slap the shit out of us. Like, she's always like hitting my chest. I'm like, oh my God. And she has the same thing to Kyle. So I'm like, okay, she's assaulting us. Like, forget it. I don't know.
When was her due date?
She's a
or
Scorpio.
26.
21st. Get it
21st.
together, Devin.
Okay, the 21st. Okay. Scorpio.
She's literally on the cusp. She's because Sad starts with 22nd, no?
Actually, yeah, I think that's right.
Google says, yeah.
She's gonna be fiery in high school. Good luck.
Listen, as a Capricorn, I can literally handle anything. So she should be afraid of me in high school, not the other way. We're good.
Yeah. You're gonna be like up at the window with like binoculars. You're gonna be like the mom that like rolls up to the party. You're like, Collins, get the fuck out of here now. You told me you're having a sleepover and you're hammered.
I am absolutely the mom from Mean Girls, but with more rules.
And sassier.
You know? Yeah, but like I'll be at the school play, like with the camera.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yes, Kris Jenner, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, wait.
Collins.
So did you come up with your questions for me? Because I have questions for you. All right. You guys, we were like, so if you follow Layne, you know that she's like a pop culture queen, like I've stated before. She's always watching TV and and commenting on it. And her husband joins in with her and also comments on it. They're like the like 2023 Gossip Girls, and it's amazing. And I just like go to you. I go to you for like all the pop culture deets. Like you, not skinny but not fat. Like that's how I stay like updated on like the relevant stuff. So
Devin, put that on my tombstone. That was the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Truly, I mean, you guys know your stuff. Like, you're not messing around. Like, you got to start. Like, you should start a whole like you should do a podcast. Actually,
we've been talking about podcasts for like 2 years, and it's like I'll explain like what's going down in a show, and then we'll hear Kyle's take on it because Kyle's like super controversial sometimes, and he gets very uppity, and I'm like, all right, let's settle down. So it would be good, but I don't know. Again, I'm a very disorganized person, so I have to actually reel it in.
No, I think you should do a YouTube channel. That would be like almost better because I feel like you guys are so funny and like animated when you're talking about this stuff. It's like I want to see like the faces like while you're talking about it. Like I just don't want to hear the noise. True. I want to watch the expressions and like the banter back and forth.
See, that's my problem in life is I'm so expressive that like my face gets me in trouble before I even say anything. Same. So like when we had to wear masks at games last year, it was a blessing because if someone said something so stupid, they never knew that I was like, you know, like I'm always whispering under my breath too. So I'm like, oh my
Same. God. I know. I'm like it's like I'm very nice, but I'm also like I need to like cool it sometimes because I can be really aggressive, like not on purpose, but like not to people, but it's like just I get like worked up and then I'll just like blurt something out. I guess like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's just like when I get frustrated, I'm like,
of course.
Or like if someone's doing something like disgusting, I'm like,
yeah.
Like I just can't help it. Like it's just a
I'm
natural.
like zero judgment, but then my face is like judging the shit out of everyone. I'm like, oh my God, like figure it out.
Free. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. It's more just like to me, like one of my biggest pet peeves are like people that have like zero self-awareness. It actually drives me like insane. So if it's like one of those situations, like that really sets me over the edge. That's like my main thing. Like when I'm in public and someone's just like, which is like all the time because people do not have boundaries here, like stand an inch away from you, cough on you, like people do not care. So it's written all over my face that I'm like annoyed or disgusted.
My biggest pet peeve now as a mother is I'm pushing the stroller and people don't move. Obviously sidewalks here are very narrow. And I'm walking, and usually I'm the person that's like, oh, let me get out of your way. Excuse me, da da da. Like, don't want any problems. But now that I'm like, you know what? I don't have the energy to move for you. So now I'm like, no. I have a baby. They can move. They don't move. They literally stand there or just kind of wait. And I'm like, what's the problem? Like, I will run you over with my child in front of me. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
I know. I feel like I just feel like here it's not super like kid friendly. Like, again, could be a controversial moment. Like, don't come for me. But like, I've had other countries to compare it to. And I feel like in Austria, like, it was very kid friendly. Like,
yeah,
which I totally took for granted. Like, I thought that was just everywhere in Europe. But I find like here, I'll be out like with my stroller and my carrier and I'm trying to open a door and people are just like staring at me like, oh, like, geez, she must be struggling. And I'm like, can you get the door? Like, you know what I mean?
God,
like, just stuff like that where I'm like, is this like a cool, like, I just don't know. Like, it's weird.
It's
and
common
then like
decency. Yeah.
how we were talking, like, there's no changing tables. Like, even in malls, like there's no changing tables in like one of the mall here. And I'm like, am I just supposed to, okay, you can all just watch me change my baby in like the ground. Like,
yeah.
But it's like frustrating because how uncomfortable for them too.
It's awkward, especially when people are, because people stare.
Oh, it's totally frowned upon. Like, people, like, if you weren't a parent, you would be like grossed out.
Yeah. So I'm just like, can you just not? I'm just trying to get by, you know? But yeah, that makes sense. Like, here it's very kid friendly, but like you said, I thought that was like all of Europe. So it's so interesting hearing cities that maybe aren't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's just my experience, but
yeah.
Yeah.
As Crystal Minkoff says from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that's my truth. So that's your truth.
That is my truth. I know. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, I'm always like trying to be like politically correct and like careful with what I say. Sometimes I don't want to offend anyone, but at the same time, I'm like, this is my podcast and this is my page and these are my thoughts and opinions. And if you disagree, that's fine. That's, you have a different, I would never try to sway someone on what I think, but like, this is how I have experienced XYZ or whatever I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
The whole point of living abroad is sharing your experience. So if you're covering up the like dark parts of this lifestyle, you're not helping anyone. And then it's like, what's the point of the podcast?
Yeah, true. I know. And there's some people that absolutely love it, absolutely thrive. They prefer living here than over home. And that's fine. But you know, you gotta just accept that not everyone's on the same path as you with that, you know?
Like, my husband would be like, Layne, what do you think, like, after like playing, like if I coached? I'm like, sure, you do you, boo, like whatever. He's like, but like in Europe. And I'm like, I draw the line, you know, because
where I cut it off.
In my mind, to me, I'm like, this lifestyle's so short, it's so temporary. Let's do it until like it doesn't make sense anymore. And so like that's kind of like where we're at. And I'm totally fine with it. I'm not at my limit yet. But like knowing we would be doing it for even longer and like me missing home, you know, my mom's getting older, like my nephews, like that makes me physically ill. So I'm like, that's when I'm going to be like, I'm putting down the nagging wife foot and being like, absolutely not, you know?
I know.
But again, that's my truth.
It's your truth, girl.
It's not for me, it's not a forever thing. It's like, all right, let's do this for now and then carry on.
I know. It's hard when you have kids and parents and like, same, like my parents are 76 and I feel like guilty. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna play 2 more years. So my parents are 78, almost 80 years old. And like, I've spent the last 5 or 6 years over here seeing them like twice a year with when I have little kids. Like, it's like, there's aspects of it that just like make me feel, it's not guilt. Like, I know a lot of people say like, I feel guilty keeping my kids. It's like, that's not how I feel. It's like, I just feel sad. Like, it's sad. Like, I'm like, this isn't how I want to be around family. I think we all can say that. Like, when you have kids, you want them to like soak that in with you. Like, people aren't meant to like go through motherhood by themselves, like isolated, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
you miss them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is. This is what we're dealing with right now. And I don't know what's going to happen. So I got to be careful. Okay, let's get into our list that we made for each other.
Let's.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to start with a bang, literally. Right. Now, you told me, for the people listening, Devin told me that the shows she knows everything about are Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Vanderpump Rules, and anything Kardashians. At first, I was like, amazing lineup. And at second, I was like, what a shame. Because there are so many good cities in that franchise. I'm like, she is missing out on quality drama. And I get, New York has like 14 seasons. It's like, how do you dive into such a thing?
Yeah.
But it's like, shoot me a message and I'll tell you exactly the season to start, Devin.
So
Anyways.
let me just give you my like quick little take on that. So like I used to dabble in Orange County and I like those. So I kind of know those characters. And then I started LA, or is it Real Housewives of Los Angeles. I started that like last year.
Oh,
but it's like
sweet child,
what
that's
I
not a
can't,
thing.
what
Beverly
is it?
Hills or Orange County. LA. I can't even look at you. I can't.
Okay, Beverly Hills. I'm sorry. Is that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
It sure is, Devin. Don't offend me. Yes.
Okay, I knew that the LA didn't sound totally right. Okay. So yeah, I kind of started watching that, but for me, like I cannot go back to like 2011 and like try to act like the trends or like even like the video footage. I'm like, I cannot watch this and like I need like someone needs to do like a YouTube like, okay, this was season 1, this is season 2. Start at season 6, which is like maybe 5 years ago, and like you're able to like get into it. But like it's a lot of those just go way too back. And I felt like with Salt Lake, it was like a fresh start. And I was like, oh, it was boom, like I'm watching this and like it's great. It's current, It's relevant, like but yeah, I know I'm missing out on some quality drama.
It's okay. We're still friends. I'm not judging you. I'm just a little concerned.
Yeah.
But you watched The Bachelor though, yeah?
I do, but that's honestly gone to freaking shit. Like I watch it out of like muscle memory, not because I still like it. Like
you're like, I'm an athlete.
Yeah, like it's like it's just like it's so predictable, and I just really don't like that all these people go on to be influencers, because I think before, like, I loved it when that wasn't what it was, and then it kind of started turning that way, and it was still fine. But then now it's just like these people don't even go on the show to like actually like get in a relationship. It's for TV and to make money on Instagram.
Touche. I don't watch The Bachelor either. I watched it, like you said, like early 2000s when people were literally there to find love or whatever, be crazy on TV. But like now, like you said, it's like you just go on to be an absolute psychopath and you're famous and you're all set because you get like, Fashion Nova ads and shit, sponsorships.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I'm like, wow, I can't even judge. Cause like if I was on a reality show, yeah, I would try to make, some kind of impact to do that.
If you can make money and get like be set, like why not? Like it makes total sense. But it's like the franchise needs to like, I just think it's run its course. Like I think
it needs a break.
I really think if they took a year off, they would maybe get some followers back and maybe stop choosing such predictable people. Like we don't need like a cookie cutter, like like I like the people that are crazy as leads, because I'm like, I want them to like yell at people and like put people in their place, not just be like this like hot commodity and like boring. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait, can I tell you something?
What?
And whoever's listening to this, like 3 years ago, I got a DM from a producer, and at first I thought it was spam, but then I looked him up on IMDb, and I was like, this is not spam. And I did like a few video chats with him, and he said that he was casting for a reality show on couples who are trying to like become a better couple, like, like a stronger couple. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like, and I was like, oh, I would totally do this. But then he's like, I think it was Ultimatum. He said that the title was in work. It was in work, basically. And I was like, I'm not really okay with sharing my deepest like insecurities yet, like on national TV, or like maybe my problems with family. Like I'm just not there yet. So I was like, maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm very open, but like I don't want to talk about my trauma like ever. So like doing that in like a national
Could you imagine random people, or let alone your close family and friends, watching you and your husband get in a major fight on TV? Like how horrifying to think
they
about.
would never look at us the same again, because Kyle and I have such like a fun, witty banter. But like when we argue, it's like, it's quick, very hurtful, and then that's it. It's not like elongated. It's like cutthroat. I walk away because I physically cannot take it. And then I calm down and I come in and I'm like, I'm hungry. And then we start fresh from there. But so yeah, doing that on like TV like terrified me. So I was like, no thanks. But he said it would be like 40 grand. And I like told Kyle, I was like, Kyle, like we could easily make $40,000. We could like fake this even. Like we could like, we don't need to be real. Like I can make up a trauma. And he's like, Layne, like I just don't feel comfortable. It was like 2 weeks in Mexico, all paid. Anyways, I said no, but I do think it was the ultimatum, basically.
Could you imagine if you guys said yes and then you had to have Kyle sleep in the same bed with a person, and you had to sleep in the same bed with someone else for like
7?
None of these people knew what they were signing up for. Like they just told them.
Yeah. They tell you, like the producer told me, the basis of the show, maybe some things that could happen and like what their idea is, but they don't tell you like the name. Or if they were like, okay, Layne, your husband's going to sleep in a bed with another woman and he's going to decide if this marriage is really working out, I'd be like, I am leaving. I'm taking it with me on a leash. Absolutely not. Not on my watch.
Layne, I'm literally dying that you're talking about this right now, because the first question on my list is, would you rather go on Ultimatum or Love is Blind?
No.
And why?
Wait, let me answer this. Wait, Love is Blind. Okay, so that's when they're in the cubicles. They can't see the other person. They fall in love with each other's voices. Oh, I would do Love is Blind, because I cannot even fathom a woman touching my husband. Like a girl could like move Kyle out of the way in a restaurant. I'd be like, what do you think you're doing touching his elbow? Like, absolutely not. So Love is Blind.
Well, wait a second. I wonder if the producer that messaged you actually was an ultimatum, because I feel like it was people that were like, either like one of them wanted to get married, one of them didn't want to get married. You know what I mean?
Well,
like no one was married.
Mm-hmm.
They were like dating.
That's a thing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It would make sense time frame wise and like, but yeah, we were definitely married then.
So maybe like if you were to backtrack when you guys were just dating and like say like you wanted to get married, but Kyle was like, I'm not ready. Like that's take yourself back and then answer that question. Would you rather test it and see before you were like in deep, or would you rather go on Love is Blind? The thing about Love is Blind is there's an out. Like if you're not into it, you can hit the road. Ultimatum, I feel like you're locked in. Yeah.
I'm still, because I'm such a jealous, overprotective person that even dating, knowing that he could think of like an out, like I have a nightmare of Kyle leaving me for like a mysterious woman. And I wake up and I'm like, how dare you? I'm like, don't even look at me. And he's like, your subconscious thinks so low of me. I'm like, yeah, it does. Like, stop hurting me. And it's just like, so yeah, that's just not for me ever.
Okay. That's so funny that was the first one after we were just talking about that.
Okay, Devin. Bang, marry, kill. Are you ready?
Okay. Yep.
Tell me you know how to play this, Devin.
Yeah, I do. I'm not that old.
Okay. Well, the look on your face said otherwise. Okay.
No, I was just, go.
Okay. Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules.
Kill.
Seth Marks, Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Rob Kardashian.
Oh.
Now I have to tell you, Kyle came up with this one.
Okay. Oh, Kyle. All right. That's pretty good.
Jax, Seth, Rob. Bang, marry, kill.
Wait, hold on. Seth is Meredith's husband, right?
Sure is.
Okay. I would probably bang Jax. And be done with him. kill Robert Kardashian. And then marry Seth.
I had the same answers.
Did you?
But I did say that if I were to bang Jax, I would need 4 condoms, like everything,
sure.
you know,
like,
you don't know.
Offspring. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
Agree. Full agreement.
Okay.
That's funny. You chose the same one. That was a good one.
Look at us. Okay, next. Bang, marry, kill. James Kennedy, aka DJ
God.
James Kennedy, the white Kanye, as he calls
It's not about the pasta.
It's not. Okay, we'll talk about that later because I would like to know your thoughts more about that. Okay.
Yeah.
James Kennedy. Robert Cosby, Mary Cosby's husband. Remember?
The grandpa?
Yeah, the grandpa husband.
Okay.
Or Coach Shaw. James Kennedy, Robert Cosby, Coach Shaw.
Oh my God, Layne. I can't even I literally can't answer this question. Like they're all awful.
Listen, if you've
Do I
done
have
the
to?
SATs, you can do this.
Okay.
I mean, it's not real. Like,
no.
you're not really gonna bang James or Robert. Like,
okay. I think I'd marry Robert Cosby because he has money, and then I would just divorce him. I need to not put that in here because people are gonna think I'm like a gold digger. But if we're talking in this fantasy world, because you don't have to necessarily like.
You can be a gold digger in a fantasy world. Absolutely.
Okay. So, and then I'd probably bang Coach Shaw, and I definitely would kill James, like 150%. Like,
okay, so you're not a James Kennedy fan.
No,
he's the worst.
Or no, you know what? Actually, let me change my answer.
Okay.
I think I would marry Coach Shaw, bang James Kennedy, kill Robert.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, because yeah.
Coach Shaw has money and he's gorgeous. So it's like, yeah.
I don't think he has money. I don't.
Devin, as the pop culture queen, let me inform you. He's a lawyer. He used to be, yes, he went to law school, so he's a lawyer. Yeah, good sentence, Layne, obviously. Okay. Then he became a sports agent for like some big time for athletes. And then from there, he started coaching. So he made a lot of money being a sports agent before he dove into coaching. Okay. So they had money from there. So I'm like, okay, so he's not that bad. And then obviously his wife is like the worst.
And he's like so sweet.
Can I just tell you, when I had my bachelorette, I shared it with my best friend because we're getting married like literally 2 weeks apart. And our girls got us a cameo from James Kennedy. And he thought we were lesbians because we were just doing the bachelorette together. So he was like, hey, it's not about the pasta. Congratulations, Layne and Dee. I hope you guys have the best wedding. Like all this stuff. And I'm like, this is even better than like.
My gosh. Yeah. That is so funny. Were you dying when you saw that?
Dead. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, wait. Do you have more of those questions, or were those the only? Okay. So let me piggyback off that with one of mine because I have who is your favorite character on Vanderpump Rules and who's your least favorite character? And then I'll answer. I actually don't even know who mine are. No, actually I do know.
This is like picking a favorite child. I mean, we've known these people since like 2008. Okay, this is tough. Favorite character. Like, it was Stassi because I feel like she was so honest and blunt and gorgeous and like sassy. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I want to say her. Least favorite, honestly, it goes between, oh God. I think it goes between James and Lala. I like Lala sometimes because she's so entertaining. But then she does stuff and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think she kind of puts it. No. But I think she kind of puts it on for TV because I've heard she's like different IRL. So, yeah, I agree. I'm Stassi. She's for sure my favorite.
Yeah.
I also like Ariana, but she also really annoys me sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like she's hot and cold. Like she's not someone I would. I don't know if I'd
Be
want to
friends
be too
with.
close with her because I feel like she'd be very like hot and
Yeah.
cold.
And that's what Sheena
Um,
says. And I agree.
Really.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite has got to be between Kristen and James.
Oh my God, I forgot about Kristen.
Yeah, she's pretty tough.
Oh, she was a tough,
Yeah.
broad.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect word to describe
Suck it,
her, broad.
leave.
Oh my God, her cigarettes. There's nothing more iconic than like a SUR worker. Yes. Going into the alleyway and smoking their cigarette. Oh, I have chills.
Oh, but yeah, James is just awful. Like he's just too much. Okay.
And he dated Kristen. Oh, I can't. Okay.
No, I know. It's like it's literally like a horrible couple. Like could not think of two worse people that should not be together.
Yeah. Yeah. They were abusive, no? Didn't she like beat the shit out of him?
Yeah, and he was like he was like the biggest douche ever.
Yeah, still is. Yeah. Wait, do you like Raquel?
She grew on me. She grew on me a little bit because I like that she started kind of having backbone.
Yes.
Like the first couple seasons, I felt like she was just like she did look just like a little doe, like just like lost in the head, like deer in the headlights. You know what I mean? But then she started kind of like. I'm sure that was like sucked out of her by producers being like, you need to, you're going to be off the show if you don't start speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Remember, what Lala called her, a Bambi-dyed bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that was incorrect, to be honest.
It's correct.
Yeah.
It's not an insult. It's just facts.
I know. Did you see the trailer for the new season?
Did I see it? It's religion. It was so good. I cannot wait.
It looks good. Last season was like, I did not think it was great. Like there was just, it was pretty like produced, I felt like, but this looks good.
Yeah, because at first I'm like, you know what, end the show. It's no longer fun. Like Jax and Brittany are gone, like Stas is like enough, like whatever. But then I was like, wait, Katie and Tom are getting divorced. The Toms are creating a restaurant. And then you have Raquel who's banging everyone. Like, I cannot wait. And
who is she banging?
Tom.
Yeah.
And then, you don't watch Beverly Hills. There's a scandal, a crossover, if you will, between Beverly Hills Housewives and Vanderpump Rules, because Raquel was seen making out with Garcelle, a housewife, son, who works at SUR. The problem is Garcelle's son, the guy Raquel was making out with, is married with children. So Raquel had to have known this. How do you not? And so she's going on dates with him, making out with him, whatever. So that's also going to be in the series, because in the trailer you saw them like canoodling and then Garcelle popped up. And that's the whole point. So it's like, Raquel, what are you doing? Now that she's like single, she's like, whatever. Yeah.
And Layne, when is this show starting back up?
I believe
holding on a microphone.
Thank you. I believe this month. I do not know the exact date. I want to say February 8th, but I could be lying.
That's like next week. Oh my gosh. Okay.
What would your Real Housewives tagline be?
Oh, see, you tell me yours, because I'm not like,
okay.
I'm not invest. I feel like you know what yours would be. I don't know what mine would be. I'd probably have to think for like 20 minutes and get back to you.
You're right. That's a question that's like, it could take a year to.
You got to be a diehard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I really don't know mine, but I feel like it'd be like my husband might play hockey, but I call the shots, like something like that, or like
cute.
Something about goals. Who the hell knows? Okay. Ignore that. Who is your favorite? Note,
though, Brittany and I asked, because we had Sarah Gretzky on our podcast, and she has like her own podcast about like pop culture stuff. So we asked her what hers was, and then Brittany came up with one for her, but now I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was something about how she likes her ice on the, like, something about her last name, but she likes her ice on the rocks. And it was like so good. Yeah.
I listened to the episode. I actually kind of remember that. Okay, wait. Do you think Sheena's husband is an opportunist, Brock?
I think it comes with the territory and he knows that, but I also think that he really loves her.
Okay.
But
You're
yes,
romantic, aren't you?
yeah, I think so. But I do
Okay.
kind of think, I mean, yeah, I feel like they didn't give us the whole, they're showing they want us to believe that on the show. So
Mhm.
they're gonna show those parts of it, I think. But I don't know. Until I see more, I think I can't give a verified opinion. What do you think? I mean, you think yes, obviously.
I did. But then after seeing him more and more, I'm like, okay, obviously really loves her. But at first, I'm like, he's definitely with her for some clout, as the
For a
kids
green
say.
card.
Yes, like let's be honest. He's Australian. He had like a few weeks left. He has children in Australia. Like, come on. But okay, wait. What's funny to me, and another reason why Lala, or as I say, La in Brittany's accent, why Lala drives me crazy sometimes
Lala.
is because the whole, whatever, 3 seasons she was with Rand, she'd be like, that's my man. Don't talk about my man. He's a stand-up man. Well, lo and behold, this guy's cheating on you in every street corner in Pasadena. And on top of that, he has some scandalous lawsuits right now that I don't even think I can even legally talk about. They are dark. And it's just hilarious that she's going after Australian Brock for not being a stand-up man when, like, your ex is literally a troll. Like, and it just drives me insane.
Okay, I listened to an episode that she was on with Not Skinny But Not Fat. And that's actually what made me get into that podcast, is because I saw that she had her on. And then I feel like some of her podcasts are hit or miss. I don't know if you listen to that. Do you?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, sometimes her voice kind of like bothers me. I don't know why. Like I just
The
feel like she
vocal
can.
fry.
Yeah. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah,
she
of
just
course.
kind of, like I really like her and I think she's funny, but sometimes I feel like she like starts to think she's like really cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I like her Instagram stories, and that's bad. Like her podcast is okay, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
She's amazing guests on,
Yeah.
but like I wouldn't say she's like an innovative speaker, you know,
Yeah.
or like question asker.
Yeah, like I know it was funny because I listened to the ones where I like the guest on, but like there's a couple that like it was literally like back and back with Call Her Daddy, and I'm like I don't know if that was like known on their part, but it was like Kristen Cavallari and Audrina Partridge, I think that's how you say her last name. They both had them on within like 2 weeks of each other, like both episodes, and I was like, that's probably not great. Like they're probably like pissed about it, but whatever, different interviews. But like I think Alex Cooper is like a really good interviewer. Like she definitely like just sets it straight. Like she has her questions, she just asks directly off her notepad. Like that's great. But she's like funny. Like I'm always like laughing into the conversations. But I listen to, and I don't know, like obviously some people are really going to connect and then like maybe not so much, and the conversation's not as fluid. But I felt like with Kristen Cavallari on Call Her Daddy, it was like such a better conversation than it was on Not Skinny But Not Fat. Like I felt like hers, like she was kind of just trying to get the 411, whereas like Alex Cooper, it was like a good interview.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I could totally see that.
Like I felt like Kristen was like definitely vibing more with like Alex. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't know why I got on that tangent, but anyways, rewind. But with Lala, she was like, I've listened to a couple things that she's spoken about it, and she was like, I was like clearly just like in the dark. Like I had no idea. I never thought like he would do that to me, clearly by the way I was speaking. And like she took total accountability, and she said that she felt that she was doing that because she was projecting what she felt deep down about their relationship. Like she was like going at them because she thinks that deep down she felt like something was off, and so she was like projecting basically. So she said that.
Okay, well, I like a person who's self-aware. So
Kristen Cavallari, what do you like more, Laguna Beach or the Hills? And were you team Lauren or team Kristen?
For those that follow me, you saw that I rewatched Laguna Beach, and I was like, wow, this is transcendent. Take me back to low-rise jeans, Hollister multiple layer shirts, like bleach blonde hair in layers. Chills, white sunglasses. Anyways, so growing up, I was team LC because they're all gorgeous, so whatever. But in high school, I was like, oh, I want to be Lauren. She's so beautiful. Okay. But then someone messaged me and they're like, you're going to be Team Kristen when you rewatch as an adult. And I was like, interesting. Let's see. No, that was not the case. I'm still Lauren. However, I do understand that is really annoying when you're dating someone and some girls just always kind of around, kind of waiting. Like, that's not okay. So at that point, I'm obviously Team Kristen, but at the same time, Kristen really pisses me off.
Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen, hi. Like, she pisses me off more than Elsie does. Is Lauren
really
bland as vanilla? Of course.
You're so funny.
I am more connected to her, I guess, than Kristen. What about you?
Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, like, my friends know me to do a perfect Kristen voice like that, but I actually can do her voice really well. My car is donezo.
Oh my God. That's so true. Yes.
I am Team Kristen through and through. I have had a girl crush on her since I was in middle school. I still do. I think she is like an amazing person.
Okay.
I really do.
That's wonderful.
I think she knows who she is. Like, she's classy. I respect the fact that she she doesn't put her kids on social media. Like, I think that's really cool. And she's stood by that till they're like, I think they're older now. They're like 7, 8, like some of them, and she's done it their whole lives. I think I respect her for like getting out of her marriage. I'm sure that was like really hard for her because she was clearly unhappy. And like, you could see, like, if you watch Very Cavallari, their show, like he was such a dick to her.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes and okay, continue. Yes.
I just think she's like really funny. And if you follow Justin Anderson, I don't know if you know who that is, but like her best friend, I'm obsessed with him. He talks about like, because everyone always asks him about her, which would be so annoying to be best friends with someone so many people are obsessed with, but everyone's always like, tell us about Kristen, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, the one thing you need to know about Kristen is she is the funniest person ever. Like, seriously, the funniest person. And I like totally can see that. I just wish I was friends with her. Anyways, I'll stop gloating after her. But yeah, I love Kristen, and I think I like the Hills more than Laguna Beach, but not the first couple of seasons. I think once Kristen came back, it got better, but also that it became more relevant with the times. Because I think the first couple seasons of the Hills, it was just like annoying. Lauren was now just like following Heidi and Spencer around, just like she was with Steven. But I also think that's
a wet
how
blanket
produced. Like, there has to be more to the story.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I didn't watch The Hills when Kristen came back because there came a point for me where I'm like, you know what, to me, it just felt overly produced. And eventually we found out it obviously was.
Yeah.
And you know what? When people are like, Layne, all reality TV is overly produced. Yeah, I know. But some shows are like too written. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know every producer gives a person like, this is the character you're going to play, basically.
Yeah.
But when like things are written out, I'm like, I don't know.
Did you listen to Back to the Beach?
I listened to the first episode after I watched Laguna, and I did like it. I want to get back into it, but I listened to the first episode and I was like LOLing. I'm like, oh my God, they're back together, you know?
Yeah. They were talking about how like they were like, wait, who's back together?
No, like back together again, the gang.
Okay.
Like,
you got me, like, I was like, wait, hold on. My thoughts. I just had to like freeze in the middle of my sentence. They were talking about how like the show was trying to make it seem like he was like back and forth between the girls like the entire show, and he was like, that literally wasn't how it was. It was just how they edited it and placed like their filming in between each thing. Because he was like, they literally made it seem like I was hanging out with you, and then I would go over to Elsie's house at night and like hot tub with her, and he was like, that was like not how it was at all. So like it was like all produced, which is interesting.
Hurtful. But hey, they sold it and it worked on my ass. I had a shirt that said Team LC from Hollister. Did you remember those or no?
Was it blue? Was it like teal? I think I had a shirt like that.
It was an option, I'm sure, but mine was maroon because I think no one wants to wear fucking maroon. It was on sale. And I was like, oh my God, it's on sale. Extra, extra small. And so I bought it.
I met them at the mall because like they didn't live that far from me. They lived in Laguna Beach, which was like 45 minutes from where I lived. And
You met them?
they did a meet and greet in San Diego, and like I met all of them. And I literally threw the picture away that I had with Kristen because I had braces and like hair that was like hit me in my ears. Like I was like such a dweeb. Like this is so social suey. Like I need to throw this. I wish I kept it because it's funny now. But like
Wow, Devin, opportunity missed.
I know I could have really, really, gotten some likes with that picture these days.
Yeah, who cares about braces?
But I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
Who is your favorite Kardashian and why? And who is your least favorite Kardashian and why?
I had the same question for you. But
Stop.
okay.
Okay.
So we can, but yeah. Okay. Favorite. For years growing up, it was always Chloe. Because as a tall girl myself, I'm 6 feet. I was always, I'm going to say massive. Okay. You're not massive. But when all your friends are petite and cute and 5 feet tall, and then you're 6 feet, 6'1", and you have like broad hips. Yeah. You feel massive. You're like, I am Shrek compared to all these little cute things. And like, obviously growing up, all the guys are short, and I'm like, oh my god. In 6th grade, a kid called me Matumbo, which is like this 76ers basketball player because I grew up in Philly, and I just laughed because I'm like, wow, I'm being compared to literally an NBA player. Like that's how big I am. But
oh my god.
So because of that, I was like, I identify with Chloe. I know what it's like.
I identify, yeah.
Now I think my favorite's Kim because she's like so successful and so cool, I feel. And I know people are like, oh my god, Kim is so annoying, like she's not self-made. Okay, I don't care. I think she's doing great things. Like imagine having 4 children. And I understand she's all the help in the world, I don't care, but like she's 4 kids, she's getting her law degree, she's $1 billion business now. Like she's cool, she's getting shit done. I feel lazy even looking at her, life. Like I'm like, oh my god, Layne, like get it together.
It would be exhausting to be Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Least favorite has to be Kourtney because she's the least interesting to look at. And yeah. No, okay. Kourtney, I don't know, just a little judgy. What about you?
Yeah. So yeah, agree. Kim favorite for sure. Yeah, Charlie annoys me because he always is like, she's just famous because of her sex tape, and she's just famous because her dad was Robert Kardashian. And I'm like,
yes,
frick off, Charlie. Like, that's not true. I was like, she literally is a boss. And I'm sorry for anyone who wants to shit on the Kardashians. Like, you're just not updated on the times. Like, they are so classy. It's not even funny. Like, they will never speak badly about anyone.
Exactly.
Ever. If you watch any interview that they do, if anyone tries to get information through them about another family member, about a person, they have such good answers. They're so respectful. They never like talk bad about anyone. And I think that is like really cool. Like, because that's hard to do when you're put on the spot like that. So
of course,
I think Kim is actually like really classy. I think she works really hard. I think she's a person. She makes mistakes. Like, she's not perfect, even though she's pretty close. But yeah, she's my favorite. Least favorite, I'm gonna have to go with Kylie.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of the other two. I didn't even think about them.
Kylie is just a dud to me. And I think it's sad because I don't think she was always like that. I think she's very insecure, and I think that it's completely dulled her personality. I just think she's really boring. Like, I feel like she's like, yeah, I'm just like really just like looking forward to like this new like thing like on TV. I'm like, I don't care. Get off the screen.
No, she talks like this, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
No, I agree. I think obviously she's gorgeous. She seems like a cool mom. Her relationship with Travis seems very 2023. But yeah, I think her personality, like even I watched the Hulu show and I'm like, what are you bringing to like the table here?
Nothing. You know? Actually, Kris Jenner's up there with one of my favorites, I think.
Yeah, she's an icon, a legend. Yeah,
she really is.
She deserves a 10%.
My last, that 10% is probably pretty high. My last question for you is, how many hours of Bravo do you watch per week?
That's assault. Wow. So like, okay, so during the day I'm working and chasing after a baby that doesn't crawl. So okay. And then okay, so we watch Bravo at night. So honestly, probably like how many days in a week? Probably 14 hours. Like probably like no, I'm just like in a week. I'm just saying like maybe like 2 hours every night, you know, like that's to me, that's like not crazy to
How
watch.
have
Like
you not run out of like episodes by now?
there's like 8 cities in the franchise, Devin. And then when you're done all of it, you're like, let's go back to 2006 and watch Teresa Giudice, you know, in season 1 before Melissa joined. It just doesn't stop, Devin. Okay. So it's like
Okay.
every night before bed, like at dinner, like Kyle and I will catch up, and then he'll like the other night, like he walked in, I was like, hey, like sorry, like I'm changing her, like the dinner's on the whatever. And he's like, hey, grab the iPad, like let's watch Salt Lake City, like hurry up. I'm like, oh my God. So it's like we'll watch like
it's a thing.
dinner.
It's a ritual.
Exactly. So
Okay.
yeah. And he got into a show that I just think is so stupid. So it's now funny that he's like watching Bravo without me, which I think is a little offensive, but
What
whatever.
show?
It's called Southern Hospitality. It's a spinoff to Southern Charm. I think
Okay.
it's trying to be the new Vanderpump Rules. There's one season,
Okay.
so maybe give it a try.
Wow.
It's about
I'm
a
surprised
restaurant.
they can't get like sued for that. That sounds like the same.
It's kind of like a crossover kind of thing. So, and it's on Bravo, but I'm just not into it. It just seems forced and I don't know, not for me.
Wannabes. Yeah.
Okay, one quick question for you.
I think I'm gonna have to say Courtney and Scott.
I thought you'd say that.
You know, I feel bad for him because I feel, which whatever, people can come at me, but I really do think he's like put in the work to change. And I just felt like she was toying with him for years because she liked the attention until she found something she liked better. And I think that is messed up.
Okay. I think by the time he changed, she was so over him and like done with their dynamic.
Yeah, she was done.
She was done. So, and then it's sad for him because he's like, well, wait, I'm a new person. I'm ready for this. But then when I look back at older episodes, it breaks my heart because she's like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, so like with their third baby, Rain, is that his name?
Yeah.
And he was like so upset and was like, no. And I'm like, if my husband like was mad at me when I told him I was pregnant, like I would die. So like that part was hard, but I understand.
Yeah.
Wait, I like her and Travis. I want to say I do like her and Travis, but in the Hulu show, there was nothing more annoying to me when he's like, babe. And she's like, babe? Like, babe. I don't know, babe.
They're like
oh my God.
I'm just like I'm like not a touchy person. And so like that just like is too much for me. Like it just makes me like sick.
Wait,
like I'm happy for them. That's great. But
yeah. Was it you I was talking to last year? I like posted on Instagram that like I'm the touchy person and Kyle's like, can you fucking leave me alone? Like we were on the couch and like my foot was like on his thigh and he's like, oh, like knocked it off and like walked away from me and I'm like, oh my God, like relax. And you were like, that's me. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's me. Like Charlie gets like annoyed at me because I'm just like not that I like it's not he's not like PDA either, but like I just don't even like it's just my parents say that they're like, oh, like they'll make fun of me that I just don't like it. But it's not like it's like I like to hug, like I like to but I'm just like, I don't know, like the feet on me thing, it's just like, no, thanks. No,
it's like the casual caressing is not for
no, I just that's just not me. Yeah.
I respect you.
Well, this was fun. This made me happy to do this with you.
Me too. I love pop culture. I love you. Thank you for having me. I hope people are entertained.
Oh, they will be for sure. That was entertaining for me.